Well, can you please share some words of motivation to everyone watching my show?
Everyone watching the show, do you be yourself and make sure that you love being yourself. And it's going to be roadblocks, it's going to be tribulations, but always remember this is a life experience. Accept the experience, appreciate the experience, and learn how to move on from things that don't serve you well, and find your journey, respect your journey, and love it.
You heard it, guys, from the man himself, Mr. Kendrick Lamar. So until next time, jazzing out.
What's good, people? Good morning. I had to wake up early for this one. Breaking news. Shout out to everybody. Shout out to everybody's day. Hope everybody's stress-free or handling your problems the best way you can. You feel me? We back with another edition. I took a little break. It was a lot going on. I was involved in a lot of beefs, a lot of stuff going on, right? I had to wake up, right? You know what I'm saying? Can't do all this on camera, but boy, oh boy, do I got some news today. Oh, we got some news fresh off the press, baby. Yes, let's talk about it. So, yeah, fights, beefs, all is going on. 2024 summer is going crazy right now. So, everybody, the fight with Tyson and all that, it ain't going down, got postponed, but we got something right filler for that. And I ain't even gonna call it a filler. This is like heavy. One of the biggest, when fights usually go down, I'm gonna start off with the crazy. When the fights usually go down, it's usually, a media press conference. They do something to go viral or whatever. The press conference be crazy, right? Check out my boy Adrian Boner on this press conference. I'm pretty sure everybody buzzing about this joint. This joint went crazy. My man went wild.
Because my niggas got guns with them, bro. And I'm dead serious, bro. And all I got to do is point and they gonna blow. And I'm dead serious, bro. Nigga. And me and my nigga, we done already beat bodies and they still looking for me. And every charge been acquitted, my nigga. So don't come up here playing. Don't make no false moves. I'm not playing. I'm not playing. I will smack the shit out you, my nigga. For real. I'm not playing. I'm not here to play. I'm not here to play no games. So we gonna promote the fight, but just be respectful. Don't do no dumb shit. And I'm serious, bro. For real, bro. I'm dead serious. Motherfucker shoot you in your shit. For real, bro. I'm not joking. I'm not joking. You ain't even about none of that. You ain't about none of that. You's a bitch. Ain't no games. Cause my got guns with them, bro. And I'm dead serious, bro. And all I gotta do is point and they gonna blow. And ain't no games. Cause my niggas got guns with them, bro.
Real quick. Hey, yo, I've never, ever heard nobody go in like that on a media. Like, that is crazy. My man Adrian came heavy. Like, no Diddy, no Drizzy. My man Adrian went savage on that man, bro. That was crazy. And it's wild because usually nobody says that, on the media. You be in cases, and bro, this man went wild, bro. I know the feds was looking at this joint like, hey, yo, what? Huh? Who? So it was some savage stuff for, a media press. Like, I don't know how personal this beef is. I don't know how far it went. But whoa, like, I'm just like, yo, I know they was looking at this joint crazy. I'm gonna play it one more time.
Ain't no games. Cause my got guns with them, bro. And I'm dead serious, bro. And all I gotta do is point and they gonna blow. And I'm dead serious, bro. And me and my done already beat bodies and they still looking for me. And every charge been acquitted. So don't come up here playing. Don't make no false moves. I'm not playing. I'm not playing. I will smack the shit out you, man. For real. I'm not playing. I'm not here to play. I'm not here to play no games. So we gonna promote the fight, but just be respectful. Don't do no dumb shit. And I'm serious, bro. For real, bro. I'm dead serious. Motherfucker shoot you in your shit. For real, bro. I'm not joking. I'm not joking. You ain't even about none of that. You ain't about none of that. You's a bitch, boy. You ain't about none of that. And I'm dead serious, and I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna show you June 7th.
He's angry.
No, I ain't angry. I'm dead serious, boy. You's a bitch, boy.
You big mad.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, you can play. I ain't playing, boy. I'm gonna fuck you up. I'm gonna beat that shit off your
I'm sorry, that joint gotta go down as like right now, as far as I'm concerned, that gotta be like top 5 press conference in the game. Like he changed the game with that one, bro. Like and only he could have did it. You feel me? Like a press conference that savage when you talking to that man like that, bro, is crazy. You told this man basically you gonna get up here and respect me. You ain't about to be talking too crazy. You ain't about to do no weird viral shock value moments on me. None of that. You gonna do your thing and you gonna sit down. You feel me? That's crazy. He owned that man, bro. That was just blowing my. I was like, wow, like so I know the media gonna be buzzing about this joint. I just wanted to drop that. It just crazy. Like these guys, 2024 is full of beef. You feel me? Like full of a lot. But this press conference, I don't care. I'm watching that fight. You feel me? Like I'm putting my money on. You know what I'm saying? But it's just like when you go and you saying all this, bro, damn. Like it was I don't think nobody was ready for him to say that, you feel me? But it was definitely to me top 5 savage press conference moments period that I've seen in boxing other than somebody just swinging on somebody. He like, man, look, I done beat by you feel me? Like yo, my man Adrian, he's a wild media boy. Like I usually, he usually got a history of saying some wild stuff in the media and being in the media in a crazy way, but this was savage, man. Like that man. Shout out to Adrian. I don't know who the boy is, but yeah, I feel like you know what I'm saying. He literally putting the fear into these dudes, man. Like that was crazy. I didn't already beat by. Yo, I don't think nobody was ready for that. I don't think nobody was ready for him to get up there and say that, man. I know this like, bro, you go get up there. I'm gonna get up there and say something. He probably was real cool about it and got up there and went crazy on that man, bro. So it's just like this year is just wild. Everybody going for broke. You feel me? But shout out to my boy. Shout out to the fight. You know what I mean? I'm definitely trying to see that now. Like if I wasn't interested, I'm definitely interested now. So these fighters, man, they be a little too friendly these days, man. Like I like the savagery. I like the make it a little personal. And these days, look. If that's what needs to be said, that's what needs to be said. You feel me? I feel like Adrian saying something like that. I don't feel like it's no bluff, bro. Like that's the sad part. Like that's the crazy part. Like that man do not play, bro. Like he's a boxer, but he's definitely a street boy. Like you feel me? Like I don't need no further proof. You feel me? This guy is like he's wild for that. So I couldn't get off of it. And there's other beef. Like this whole year is just full with beef. My man, Dr. Umar, moving on. Like my man, Dr. Umar was just like, if y'all know about him, he heavy in the culture, heavy in the black culture. He's pro-black. He's somewhat, heavy in the culture in a lot of different ways, as far as him speaking up for black women and trying to get a school going and stuff like that for black youth. He worked as a psychologist in school. Like I gotta give my man his credits. Just for years he been, adamant about his stance on interracial dating and, just keeping black people dating black people and stuff like that, which I never really had a problem with. I was cool with it, but I also could see through a lot of his ways. And he was when it came to him producing and putting out back to the community, it was a lot of situations where he had a lot of excuses. As far as him representing the conscious community, it really wasn't coming back to the community right in the right way. But this him right
Dr.
here.
Umar, my brother loves white women. How can I redeem him? Don't redeem him. Release him to the bunny brigade. Don't save the snow bunny lover. We got to stop trying to save the snow bunny lover. If your brother is addicted to the bunny, send him to the bunny brigade. Send his ass to the ice storm. Send him to the snowstorm. Don't try to save your brother. Give him to the snow bunny mafia. Let that Negro go free. I'm working on a new book. It's called Snow White and the Seven Coons. I'm working on my first children's book. It's called Snow White and the Seven Coons, brothers and sisters. That 17-hour flight was no joke. I kept waking up and the snow bunny was breathing on my neck, smelling like pickle juice and spoiled kiwi limes or some shit. I don't know. Lady T, I got this water for you when you get back to the States. Lady T, stop being fresh. Lady T says she got that water for me. What kind of water you got for me, Lady T? The kind of water that refreshes your soul. Lord have mercy. It's time to go swimming. I'll have my cowboy hat on as a surprise. Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy. Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord. Somebody said, I'm not even going to repeat this sexually explicit text. Ladies, I'm in the motherland. We must be respectful to the ancestors. I like what you're doing, Dr. Umar. Beautiful black skin. Juicy J, are you a male or female? Juicy J, thank you for the $5. Are you a male or female? Because I don't want no man fantasizing about my beautiful golden brown skin. I don't want no man. Juicy J, I'm assuming you a woman. Because I don't want no man giving me compliments on my skin. That sounds a little zesty, and we do not do zest.
Now, I had a cool stance on Dr. Umar because he was doing good for the communities. He was a voice, but slowly and surely, I just start seeing through him, and I start seeing that he just had a real exploitation for black women. And as you can see, just in them small clips, I got more, but just in them small clips, he had a stance on interracial dating that was basically unwavering. You feel me? And then it's like you basically only here for comedy. Like throughout the years, that's what it came down to. Like this man might as well do stand up comedy because it's not actually nothing he's doing in the community that's truly effective other than going on tour and exploiting black women, bro. That's what it seemed like to me. But that's my opinion. You feel me? He been out here putting in work, but like I said, he looks like a scammer to some people. He looks like he's exploiting black culture to of some people other than just like him, out here preaching about being pro black. So I'm a man of the culture, but me far as observing it is just like, nah, bro. I see what you really in it for. You feel me? And that's what a lot of it's a spirit of celebrity in a lot of these guys, man. They start out good. They start out with a good purpose, and then you slowly but surely get to see what the true agenda was about them. Like, you feel me?
But I would say, listen, your wife is white. So we're going to stop the black talk right there. Normally, when you get to my level of education, you become a coon or a Negro. And what's the difference between a coon and a Negro, Envy? The Negro is innocent in his ignorance. The Negro think Jesus is white. The Negro think white people are smarter. It's not his fault. He's been miseducated, Charlemagne. But the coon is dangerous. The coon knows Jesus wasn't white. The coon knows white people are not superior to blacks, but they will act like they are because they're going to get something for doing so. The coon consciously sells out his people. The Negro does it out of ignorance. I can work with a Negro. Never trust the coon.
Well, are you against interracial relationships, period?
Absolutely. She must be African. But for me, it's a two-question. It's a two-pronged test, Envy. Are you biologically African and are you psychologically African? Because I'll reject anybody. I don't care if you Clarence Thomas. He blue, black, purple, but that Negro gets rejected because he's done nothing for black folks since he's been on that Supreme Court bench. So my question to Kanye is you don't have the right to ask that question when you didn't even marry a black woman. You don't have a right to ask that question dyeing your hair blonde. You don't have a right to ask that question wearing white Jesus pieces around your neck. You don't have a right to ask that question when you're in the White House hugging Donald Trump, telling that man you love him. What do you love so much about the orange man? What has he done to make you love him?
So as you can see, he's very adamant. Interracial dating, this man's been putting in work for years. Now, recently, posts have been going around the internet of his own niece. Now, my thing about this is you heard his standards. You got to have a black woman. You got to be married. This man has multiple baby moms. Now, he just got married. This is facts. He just got married, but this man married 2 black women. So I don't know what type of example he's setting for young women and young men out here, but that's the real action of behind the character on the internet. That's what he's really in it for, to me. So his actions speak louder than his words to me. Now they're not white women, but in his family, his niece just married a white man and very happily married. So it just shows like if the women in your own family in your own circle don't really see you as a leader, they're not going to listen to you. And I think that's pretty much showing up in a lot of Dr. Umar's work and his personal life for as his own family. Because if your niece knows about your work and knows about what you stand for, why would the first thing she do is post something like that? You know, if she, why would she even make that move? And I'm not against interracial dating at all. Like I'm all for it because we in 2024. This is a different time. You know, is not is kind of setting us back. But for him to me have a strong stance on that, and you really your own family don't really support it, is a little backwards to me. Now I rock with people like Tariq Nasheed. That's who I rock with. This man, he's done way more for the black community. He's provided content. I'm talking movies, documentaries, all the Hidden Color series 1 through 3, 1 through 4. Check that out too. It's really good. Really good Black history in a modern, updated version. Basically explaining the makings of hidden America and all the things that went down for us making this country what it is today. He has a wife, a full family, no baby moms. All his kids are from her. And I feel like he's been, really major in the culture as far as, you know, pro black or doing anything positive for the culture in a good way. And what he represents is basically what Dr. Umar is not. He has no wife. Like I told you, he's married multiple women. This guy is in it for certain things, what it seems like to me. But it was times where he went at it with Dr. Umar, and it didn't end well. It didn't end well because his own standard he couldn't live up to. And it's like when you want to claim supremacy in this movement, you got to be what you talk about, my guy. But this is him just backing off now. This is Tariq Nasheed, my guy right here.
If you want to convince a group of people that everything about them is negative, what you have to do is tell them where they're from is a negative place. And this is what they've done to black people. They say, black people, you're negative, you're bad because Africa is negative and Africa is bad. Images that we have of Africa, we always see the underbelly. We always see the propaganda. We always see the warfare, but they never show the other side.
Tariq, he has a way better approach on how he deals with these things. He's dealt with so many types of beefs, arguments, debates, and to me he's undefeated. Like I have seen nobody take him out on what he stands on, what he talks about. And he's very calculated on how he moves. Check me out. He was on No Jumper too.
You said recently that I blame a lot of non-FBA people for a lot of stuff.
Well, that's pretty much the theme of a large percentage of the conversations I've heard you have.
We ain't no large percentage. We talking about
now,
what
how
you
do
said.
You're right.
Hey, man, lock them doors.
Because I want to get on that.
I can't hold it against you because I love it.
I want to lock the door.
Let's lock these doors real quick.
You'll have a conversation. I'm sure you've heard Tariq do this, where it'll be, this black person did this bad thing. What do we think about it? And his immediate claim is, well, I think they're Haitian. They're definitely not FBAs. Yada yada. And it's like it's just kind of like a fascinating thing that the conversation frequently veers towards.
Foundational Black Americans. Yeah. So if somebody does something weird, a lot of times it gets dumped on us, and then we look at the background of the people. They're not even from here. So I'm like, wait, I don't want to hold nobody's negativity. So if anybody does something...
So if a Haitian does something...
Right, because what happens...
Or a Jamaican does something...
Right, because if a Jamaican or a Haitian wins an award, all of a sudden, the Jamaican-American won this award. They go out of their way to differentiate themselves from us.
You got a point.
Do the same shit. You do the same shit when you do a crime.
You got a point. Yeah, I get you.
If you do a crime, be Haitian when you do that crime.
When
So two different stances, but two different types of men that stand for similar movement. You feel me? Now, there's been situations they've already went at it. You know, he's destroyed Dr. Umar in a lot of different ways. He destroyed that man. And one of the chats, you could try to insinuate a beef with Umar, and as you can see, he's on this type time straight up.
Don't tell me about that young man. I don't want to hear about him. I understand he's starting to hate again. He likes to do this at the end of the calendar year. He liked to spark a beef so I can help drive some traffic to his pages and to his efforts and to his business scams. I'm not going to go back and forth with that brother. I've graduated past that. Y'all been texting me all night. Here go another cartoon he made about you. I'm not getting into that. Let that brother do what he's doing and let me do what I'm doing. And when my institution is done and his so-called institution is done, y'all can compare the institutions and compare the amount of money raised, and y'all can make an informed, intelligent decision for yourself whether or not this institution or that so-called institution was built for the people, or was it just a hustle to make one man rich. We ain't got to argue this. Let God show you who's real, and let God show you who's fake. Let God show you who's real, and let God show you who's fake. I'm beyond that right now. I'm the most revolutionary, requested, credentialed, loved scholar in the world. I will not entertain him.
Yeah, you won't entertain him because you've been found multiple times on scamming situations, bro. One thing about Tariq Nasheed, and I will say this in his defense, the man has never been exposed for no type of scam. For the people, every time I went to his shows live, watched him speak live when he came to Philly. I mean, I've never felt scammed by that man. I've learned a lot from him. And he don't really ask for money. You know, not like a lot of these conscious people. They beg, they beg, they beg. This man has already been set up. He funded a lot of his own production, went through a lot of things just to get his production going, because it was like they was trying to block him from doing it, and he still did it. But as you can see, Dr. Umar wants no smoke. They've already battled for the supremacy of who represents the black culture better, and it's definitely Tariq Nasheed. Now, if anybody could pull anything up on him that I don't know about for scamming or looking like he don't back up what he's saying, or stand up for what he's actually representing, you let me know. But my guy's been putting in work heavy. Shout out to Umar though, but bro, you just need to know your place, bro. Like, you should stay in your place, my guy. I'm cracking up. You're not really a real one. You feel me? We found out about where you are, and your level of revolutionary stops right at black women. You feel me? Especially the insecure ones. But we ain't gonna rag too much on that one.
It comes natural, Akon? Really, Akon? Akon, it was foundational black Americans who put you on, brother. So Akon, this is what comes natural, Akon, right here. This, don't forget now, hold on. This what comes natural, Akon? This what we doing? Is this that energy you talking about, Akon? This that energy you speak of? This is what we talking about, Akon. Okay, all right, okay. All right, Akon. That energy you talking about, brother? Really, Akon? Really, you really fix your mouth to say that, huh, Akon? That y'all more talented? Y'all got more stage presence? Okay, hold on. Let's look at some of this talent right here. This is, I think this is a Somalian lady. This is a non-FBA lady. Hold on. This is Somali girl. All right, let's look at some of that talent that y'all got, Akon. Since y'all showing us the game, let's listen to some of that talent. Hold on. So that's that talent right there. SW Teeth. That's what you're talking about?
So he's funny as hell. That's another thing. Like, he's just not one of those guys you want to go at it with on the internet. Like, he really knows his way. He knows how to make fun of anybody, and he knows how to really pull up dirt and really see who you are. You feel me? And you know, a lot of guys beef with him for clout bases only, and he's good for speaking up for the black culture in a lot of different ways. He's not scared to go at anybody, and the stuff that he says is very credible. So, you know, I got more respect for Tariq Nasheed than I do for guys like Dr. Umar when it comes to representing the culture, just for various reasons. You feel me? Like the guy Dr. Umar, you see the difference in just the lifestyles, the characters on the internet, and just how they respond to stuff. You feel me? But you know that's neither here nor there. I've seen that man just totally make fun of whoever that thought they was real serious out here. So it's like nobody really messes with him. You can go look the beef up. He's beefing with so many people at the time. And it was just for the battle of who represents him more. Nobody could expose him or nothing like that. But speaking of exposed, my man Cat Williams, you know, he kind of predicted this year to be a wild expose year. 2024, Cat Williams, Shay, shout out to him. But it was my boy Corey. This caught my eye when I seen this. Moving on, this boy really made a post that was like, what? So I just want to play the drum.
The interview
Of all interviews.
was necessary, but let me tell you something. It was some good in there. Some people got exposed. But it was some cap in there too. That's the that's gonna make everybody mad at me, because I don't give a who mad at me anyway. Because I ain't gonna do nothing but tell the truth. If the truth make you mad, then you hate God. If the truth make you mad, you hate God. It was some truth in that interview, and it was some cap in the mother interview.
Stop the show. When he says cap, well, what does he mean the cap is about? Let's listen to what he's talking about.
Like, let's take, for example, they said I'm a cape for Kevin Hart. I seen that. Let me tell y'all, motherfucker, man, I was hanging with Kevin Hart when he was driving a ragged-ass Jeep out here in California. I was with Kevin Hart when him and Tori was a new couple out here in L.A. So, you know, he said the brother a plant.
Yeah.
All I'm saying, before that got some money, I picked Kevin Hart up, took him to the airport one day.
Yeah.
That type. I'm saying, now this motherfucker, Rod Carmichael, that's a plant.
Oh.
Have you ever seen this upbringing in comedy?
We started at the same time.
This had a TV show.
His ascension was crazy.
Hosting an award show, and all of it sucked. I'm just saying, I ain't saying the TV show sucked because I never watched it. But what I'm saying is, stand up. This shot a stand-up special at the Comedy Store and made it to TV.
So this is important, right? Because when it comes to Cat Williams, he felt that Kevin Hart was an industry plant. That's why he had this to say.
And that's what really, there's been this big argument over who's an industry plant and stuff like that. But from what my definition of an industry plant is you didn't start from the bottom. Like, that's one of the key factors in that. So I don't know, you know, I see this term getting used a lot and misused a lot, and it's like, to be an industry plan for me is like, you didn't, one of the key things, you didn't start from the bottom. You had help where you basically just was injected in the game already mainstream. You ain't had to start from underground. You had a lot of help from many different sources. I can't really say, but that's my version of industry plan. You know, when people put that out there, like, you got to be from a place where, you know, people already know you from the gate, where they don't even see where you started from. You feel me? That's my game with that one. But like, it's a lot of, you know, a lot of buffoonery out here. It's a lot of fake capping out here, and everybody's fighting for that title of like, I started from the bottom. And let's remember who made that song. Mr. Drizzy Drake, the guy that never started from the bottom. So we gotta really start looking at these people for who they are, and what they really represent outside of the internet character, because that's how we getting bamboozled out here. That's how people is getting scammed. That's how people falling for fake movements that's not really bringing nothing back to their own communities. These guys is on here, basically trying to get you to believe them. So always keep it standing on what you believe in out here, because anybody's out here, trying to get you to stand for their cause. And it's like, what do you really represent? Like, what is we really talking about? Now, if it's helpful, it's helpful, because, it's a good thing that we got something like that these days, but not in the sense of people not trying to represent themselves right. Like, it gets a little crazy. Everybody on her podcast, you feel me? I don't mind it. I'm really not against it, because it just gives more people a voice. I find that this new podcast wave of people is turned into the new Hollywood. I think a lot of people just, the thing that they didn't like, I think podcasting and journalists, it started out because people didn't have a voice against what was going on in Hollywood. And when you jump on the podcast, it gave that introduction gave people the freedom to speak their own truth. But I feel like we are living in the times of it getting very much corrupted, and it's turning into the very same thing that it was created to counteract, which is Hollywood. You feel me? A lot of these people are gatekeeping. It seems like a lot of it is exploiting the culture. And I think it just needs to be a better lens, and people need to really, pay attention to what's going on out here, because it's a lot of information, but it's also a lot of misleading information. Shout out to my boy Joe Rogan, though, one of the heavyweights of the podcast. I find that a lot of culture, a lot of black culture, like, we don't capitalize on our greatest minds. I even saw the Joe Budden podcast when they spoke on Terrence Howard. I've been speaking on Terrence Howard, but I also see he was backed by the boy Billy Carson. But it's the fact that a lot of people don't really understand or value these guys that's in our culture. And I don't know if maybe it's a youth, a generational thing, but Joe Rogan was definitely a guy to just bring the Billy Carson on his interview for the podcast. So I'm gonna cover that too. Definitely one of the great minds of this generation. But shout out to Joe Rogan, though.
Google the richest women in the world, like where they got their money from. It's rough out there, guys. They ain't fucking starting businesses. They're marrying dummies. It's almost all of it is divorce. Almost all of it's divorce money. Feminists do not want to hear this. But there was one woman who was the richest woman ever from a startup company, Elizabeth Holmes. She ran a company called Theranos. She started it herself, dropped out of college to start this company, and it was a total fraud. It was all fraudulent. She's going to jail forever. She was worth $34 billion at one point.
He said it, I did.
Crazy work. You gotta be safe. Like, you gotta protect your perception, and you gotta keep somewhat of a standard. Everybody's out here for a cause. But to me, in this country, it's a big imbalance as far as a lot of the stuff people is getting away with. And like I said, we don't speak on these things. We don't make it aware. People just not gonna know. One of the things about journalism, news, blogs, podcasts, media, you put it out there so people could be aware, because it's just not maybe getting covered. As you know, Drake, for example, does a lot of things to push a media team that pushes his agenda. A lot of other, celebrities do this. They pay the media to promote videos about them, create perceptions about them to control the masses. But, it's neither here nor there.
If you can afford it, get a genetic methylation test once in your lifetime.
How much does one of those cost?
About $500-600.
Oh, okay.
$600 to do it through me, but you'll do it once in your lifetime. But you don't have to do it through me. There's other great companies, but do a genetic methylation test. Get 5 specific genes looked at: MTHFR, MTRR, MTR, AHCY, and COMT.
And you do this for a cheek swab? Is that
You
what
do
it
it
is?
with a cheek swab. You swab your cheek, you put it in a little test tube, you send it to the lab, and then the results come back to you. For the balance of your lifetime, you will never guess on what your body is deficient in, because you will know what it can methylate and what it can't.
Okay.
And then just start supplementing for the sake of deficiency, not the sake of supplementation, and step back and watch what happens.
So I rock with the Joe Rogan. It's just a lot of substance on there. I think, one of the issues is that we don't provide enough substance for our own culture in a lot of different ways. I think that is very much needed. People need something that's real out here because there's been a lot of fakers, a lot of scammers, but it's always it's always good to see, whether black or white people just covering the culture for the people. You feel me? Putting that information out there, health wise, all of that stuff is important. Now, me, I'm big on marketing because I understand the nature of the beast. It is a marketing game. For you to understand the ways that you are being attacked from different angles, you gotta know where, you gotta educate yourself in marketing and understand that it's lots of different forms, psychological marketing, all different forms, and it's all to control your perception and basically influence you to buy into stuff different ways and things like that. Now, I'm not going to leave off on Billy Carson because I just wanted to drop this last one, though. This was a good one.
This isn't like a woo-woo statement. It's an actual real thing. When you get into a high-frequency mindset, you now can command things into existence. You can operate within the law of attraction on a positive frequency, because when you're on a low frequency, the law of attraction still works, but you get low frequency things coming back at you, and you feel like, I can't get out of this situation. Every time I turn around, there's another bad thing happening to me because you're in a low frequency. First thing we know is by connecting an EEG to your head, a cap with electrodes, and connecting it to a computer, we can see your frequency that you're at. We know that the brain is emitting frequencies or light waves that are leaving the skull and going out into space-time that we just happen to capture with that cap and send to a computer. So we know that when a person is in anguish, sorrow, fear, hoping, begging, wishing, those frequencies on the computer create a very low frequency oscillation wave. Now, if the person gets into a position of power, excitement, happiness, right, vigor, we know that it creates a very compact, high-end and close cosine wave, which is high frequency. Wow. So we know the physical representation of the frequency of a person in can be captured by their thoughts. And what you have to do is get out of the victim mindset and hoping and begging and wishing mindset and getting to the commanding and I'm powerful affirmations mindset. Once your frequency shifts to a high frequency, now all of a sudden all good things start coming back, right? And so the universe is working like a boomerang. It's a mirror of what you're putting out energetically. So you want to force yourself into a high frequency by doing positive affirmations, meditation, being of service to others, being in a good state of mind, respecting everyone with dignity and respect. That's going to put you in a high frequency.
So just me taking in all what he's saying is like, you see the spirit of celebrity out here that's basically manipulating people to think a certain way about them, to view them a certain way, when really that's not helping your perception as a consumer, as a fan, as a whatever. You feel me? Like, you have your choice, you have your free will, but it's definitely a fight over your perception, and they market on very high advanced levels out here. Corporations, etc. And it's like it's either you up on game or you're getting manipulated out here. And it's on a lot of different levels. Like, it's crazy. So shout out Billy Carson. I'm gonna cover that interview with him and Joe Rogan. Just for the culture, just for the people, you feel me? I feel like I gotta weigh in on that one.
So what places am I not supposed to go? That's a good question. So you're not supposed to be in California. That's why I hate California. California is a dog and you are a dragon. That's your enemy sign. Wow. So yeah, you should always stay away. You should never drive a Honda. It's a good way for you to get an accident. Honda, dog car, and you're a dragon. Bad energy. Good car for you to drive is a BMW because that's a dragon car. Things like that matter. Or make sure you drive a car that was built in 2020 because that's a rat year because that benefits you. Wow. Every little thing like that matters. Like, for instance, when I go house shopping with my wife, oh my God. The address matters? Hell yeah, bro. The address matters, man. Okay. I'm getting up out here because there's always something wrong with the house. Either it's the wrong address or built in the wrong year. God, it takes me months to find a house because everything has to be perfect. Not only me, I got a wife, I got kids, I gotta make sure their energy matches. Bro, this is a headache. All you gotta really watch out for, the main dog state is California. I think that's pretty much.
So that's just basically that's like a high advanced level of like perception where you basically put your mind on numerology, study various different things mentally far as your frequency to help you get into the right mode on this planet, who you are as a person. People that even some of the greatest corporations study astrology. They have these buildings set up in certain places all over Washington, D.C. All of this stuff is not by mistake. These symbols, these sigils, they're not by mistake. These guys study. They understand human psychologically on a high level where they're able to market to you and just, basically subconsciously sway the way that you think. And it helps their businesses, it helps their market because it gets the dollars, you feel me? And you won't know why. I ask a lot of people, why do you like that? What made you really buy that? And it's just, I remember back in the day when we used to listen to radio, the main reason we would like a song is because they played a song over and over and over and over again. Once, you know, um, social media and YouTube came out and streaming came out, it changed the game. But it only changed the game because it just exposed how closed off we was in music and how controlled and filtered it was. Now people free to listen to whoever, anybody could be a big star. You feel me? It's a whole new genres created every day. So I don't know if maybe, these things are put in place to control stuff, but it seems very much like it. So even in this podcast stuff, because I'm gonna get back to the marketing, but just in the podcast stuff, um, I think that it's becoming something horrible, something that we was trying to get away from, which is that Hollywood type of lifestyle. A lot of these people they get on here, they make podcasts, they make shows, they make blogs, but you could tell that it's coming from a place. Now, I value people's time. Nothing wrong with supporting people for what they do. If you entertain, if you like it, if you learn something. But it shows that it's easier to put us up, but us also still people that's trying to become that spirit of celebrity. You feel me? That's the toxic trait that leads to a lot of the corruption and a lot of these good movements, a lot of these innovations of ways to make money and be successful. Check out my boy though.
Oftentimes, as creatives, we feel as though we create based on what we feel as though people want to consume. And I always try to press people to understand that, create what you're inspired to create when you're inspired to create it. I never ask anybody to like any of my art. I just ask that you give it a fair chance. If you don't like it, maybe I'll get you on the next one. I'll make adjustments. Maybe it just isn't for you. That's why I never really press anybody to spend money with me or to, do anything more than just hit like or share. But I say that because everybody here, or a lot of us here, are creatives, and it's very important to understand that when people have art, they're really giving you a piece of themselves in the moment. Because to offer something for public consumption is a lot harder than it looks. And a lot of times people get trapped in this idea of it won't be good enough, so they don't even ever let the art be seen. I don't have that affliction, but I always try to tell people, don't worry about it, you can't care. You know what I mean? And
That's heavy. And that speaks to me in a lot of different volumes because one thing about just doing stuff out here, it is free to like, it is free to support, but as you can see, you still got to tell people to like and share. Like, you feel me? You still, and that's free, but it just shows that, people really don't want to support. People are scared to create. Um, I think inspiration is very much needed nowadays because a lot of people are not inspired. They're inspired by what they see other people do, but they're not inspired by themselves. And I think that is one of the key factors that builds your foundation of who you are out here and what you really represent. Um, the pressure of trying to cater to an audience when you're trying to create content that's authentic to yourself. It all falls into what Hollywood was doing. You have a level of creativity. You go to Hollywood and it's like, well, this is how we do it. This is what we, and it's like I don't know if the fans are turning that or the content creators are transforming that, but it seems like we're leaning right into them stages of, oh, you can't do that, you can't do that, you can't do that. And this is something that nobody's even done before. This wave of success and these podcasts this has not been done before. So I don't feel like it should really be too many rules on that, especially if we're not people that live in Hollywood. We're regular people. We're not asking you to buy nothing. You feel me? And the people that's begging, those are the ones that's begging. But I feel like if you creating content, you shouldn't be out here begging. You feel me? Your time is valuable. If people feel like that, they're gonna support it. When you are successful or you doing something that's on to something, whether people support it or not, you do it because that's who you are. If people if want to support you, then that's what you'll attract as far as your frequencies and your law of attraction and how you view who you are. Your subconscious matters, but it's hard to do that when a lot of people don't understand they're blocked through health reasons, the diets we eat. It's a lot of things that play a factor into that, but I can't go into that because that's a whole nother video. But I am going to talk about marketing and just like how people are manipulated subconsciously just in a marketing level. So here we go.
Have you ever noticed why vending machines, there's always a Coca-Cola one, and then there is a Pepsi one right beside it?
Yes.
Have you noticed that? So if you go to like a stadium, they usually have one machine for Coke and then another one that is for Pepsi products. But why would they put it right beside each other? Well, if there is a Coke machine, in your head, your thought process changes from, am I going to buy a Coke or not? But when you see the two different brands next to each other, the thought process changes to, which one should I get? So it changes from maybe buying a drink to definitely buying a drink. But which one?
Oh, okay.
Now this is real science. It's like real marketing science. Both companies started profiting way more and increasing the sales the moment competition was right beside it, because it no longer became a choice of am I hungry or not? Am I thirsty or not? It gives you options, which makes you think about getting one. But picking which one more. So next time you're thinking about getting a drink from a vending machine, look to see if there's two different machines next to each other.
So yeah, I'm gonna leave off on that note. I ain't gonna hold y'all too long. I just wanted to run through a couple things that was on my mind I want to talk about. As far as you just know, like, you are under attack. You are. You know what I'm saying? And your perception matters way more than you think. What you support, what you choose to look at every day, all of that stuff matters more than what you think. And it influences you on a very deep subconscious level, whether you know it or not, whether you're aware of it or not, whether you're educated or not. The people that is producing and creating for you usually are. So it's always good to be aware as a consumer. And we live in a time where times is changing. We're moving into a different way of making money. We're moving into a different way of being successful. I think a lot of the old ways is outdated for the society we live in today. For example, you go to work for 8 hours and you working as hard as you can or provide one type of service, and these businesses do not support. Most of these businesses, for the time that you're there, they don't really support well in the lifestyle that is needed to live in this day and age. So you have to jump out and do different things. Now, it's easy to get ahead in the culture if you know how to have the right type of support for what you're doing. Like I said, it takes a like and a share, and people could barely get that these days. So it comes down to the consumer and just wanting to support people. The people supporting the people. It's really not even locked down by Hollywood no more. But as I see, it's just my opinion is just a lot of gatekeeping. But there's definitely new ways to make money these days. I think the media doesn't want to push that too much because it is going to destroy a lot of companies. Since I've seen the wake of media and social media and YouTube and all of them platforms, people, journeying out, making different money, crypto. Times is changing, you know. You can cling on to the old ways, but it's definitely new ways. I've been exploring new ways, and it's like we as a collective got to jump on that way. And I'm free for having, you know, conversations and just talking to like-minded people that's on the same wave, because I know that it's way more out here for us as a people.
So the birthmark theory actually goes deeper than you thought. Now, listen carefully, because some scary coincidences come up. You know that the majority of people have a birthmark, right? And you know that the absence of one means it's likely that it's the person's first reincarnation, or it means they had a death by natural causes, or they carry no more trauma due to spiritually evolving. So they say that if you are albino or have like freckles, you might have been burned in a past life, because it's said that fire leaves its mark on the skin forever, possibly meaning that you have fire trauma that you need to deal with. This may seem extreme, but it might explain why, like, different people are scared of different things. And then apparently if you have like a discoloration birthmark, it's the body's way of remembering that you have healed from a fire. You know those marks where it looks like you have vitiligo. There was even a doctor who did a study on 2 to 4-year-old kids. I think his name was Dr. Stevenson, but don't quote me. He chose this age group so their memories wouldn't be clouded by new memories. Not only did they remember their past life, but there were literal autopsies proving who they were. And in some instances, they were recognized by people they had never met.
Now, I encourage you to look into that because it is wild. Like, I ain't really believing into it till I start really going down the rabbit hole, really pulling up real life experiences, real people that really been going through stuff as far as reincarnation, babies remembering how they got, unalived in their past life. So it's very interesting to check out. Like I said, I'm all about opening the mind up, different perceptions, being aware, putting shit out there for the people. You feel me? But tying things together though, another interesting thing far as what's going on in the media, and I don't want to just put this out there specifically, but it is a situation where a lot of people in the media is getting attacked for a lot of different reasons. Like I said, a lot of that could just be from what they was just doing, and it's just coming back on them. I feel like you really don't get away with doing wrong for too long. It seems like that's the way it goes out here. You feel me?
People who can't communicate properly think everything is an argument. Literally, you can't even have a conversation with them without them blowing up. And I don't think it's got anything to do with the conversation that you're actually having. I think it's got to do with much deeper rooted issues. So I've learnt not even to try and have a conversation with them.
This is the age of communication. If we have debates, arguments, you feel me, it should all be settled on an intellectual level, and we can grow from it and have our opinions about things. But I feel like as a people, it is a good thing that we have a voice out here. It is a good thing that we can put ourselves on a platform and speak on the topics that we feel is important. I feel like us attacking each other for doing stuff like that is just weird. We're becoming nothing but these corporations, and we're becoming nothing but the spirit of celebrity in Hollywood. Like, I'm looking at one of these guys, JJ Ice, for example, and he was like, you get 1 million followers, you get these views, these numbers. I'm creating a disorder because I feel like people are mentally disturbed when it comes to these numbers, these views. They start getting that spirit of celebrity, and it's like, that's not, who you are. You feel me? You made a video, people liked it, people watched it. That don't mean when you go out here and say buy this, everybody's going to buy that or do what you do. You feel me? So it comes down to people really understanding where they're at in the game and not letting them under the numbers mentally put them on this celebrity level where they're bigger than life at that point. And it's not really, it's not really based off much. Like I said, just numbers and views and likes. And it's like people think that, the world owes them something, or the world outside of the internet knows who they are. And it's like, bro, nobody knows who you are. Be humble out here. What you do, if you're going to do it for the people or do it for the culture, do it for the culture. You feel me? If people want to put you up, they put you up. But don't ever think that, they become the celebrity. Like, where's your paparazzi at, my guy? Please cut it out. But I'm gonna drop y'all off with these last videos because this is just media education, just being up on the new wave of how people making money right now, and the system that no longer is serving us. That's what I want to speak on basically and show you about. So
You know those Walmart type brands like Great Value and then the regular brands, right? Listen to this theory, right? It might shock you a bit. So they have Cool Whip, then just the normal whipped cream. I bet you didn't know it's all made by the same company. It's just that Great Value goes to the same manufacturers and they just get it made cheaper without the branding, like no brand name. So, the canned vegetables, right? The big name brand is called Green Giant, and the Great Value ones are also made by Green Giant. It's the same with cereal. There's this store called Aldi, right? Now this store is known for having the best products that match up to the big name brands. That's how they promote their store. So if you go into Aldi, they have this brand called Millville. And all their cereals are replicas of cereals like Cinnamon Toast Crunch, Cookie Crisps, and Rice Krispies. And they look so similar, but are all made by Millville. The real name brand is made by General Mills. They dug deep and found out that Millville is the same thing as General Mills. It's the exact same. They even taste the exact same, like literally.
So it ties in. It's all connected. It's all out here for people to see. They're not hiding it. So I'm gonna definitely keep my scope on it. I'm gonna definitely just keep educating myself about it because it's something you got to be aware about. Stuff like that you have to know. You got to be aware of, man. Like media marketing is just so dangerous. Like it's so dangerous that people really don't see it as a threat. That's how powerful it is. That is some powerful stuff, though. That is crazy. Like people really don't see media marketing as a threat, especially in this new day and age where they got various different ways of finding out information about you as a consumer. Wow.
We need to start studying words. Just look at a bank. What is a bank? River bank. Right. And what does the river bank do? It controls the flow. Flow of what? Currency. So if it's controlling the currency, it's also controlling the cash flow. So what? Money moves like water. So if I understand where the water is going to go, I just have to position myself where the cash flow is going to be next, and I will get wet. Welcome to the big leagues, motherfuckers.
The money game. As you get out here and get educated with this money, you gotta be aware that it's still not safe. It gets even crazier the higher you go in this money game. But these old systems, the banking systems, I think people catching on. I think the banks know. That's why they're paying people to put money into the banks, because they're losing funding. They're losing the people. As we know, we're the ones that fund the stuff that makes it relevant. Without us putting money in these banks, they're losing a lot of traction as far as people just believing in the banking system. And that was one of the backbones to, push the capitalism effect. So I think this country is going through a big transformation right now.
Imagine being so stupid that somebody's out there printing money, and on the counter, you're working for it, and then you're getting taxed because they need your taxes in order to run the government. When they could just print it. It makes no sense whatsoever. So stop working for money. Stop working for a paycheck. Start working towards a life that instills freedom and instills your ability to produce money without you having to work. Now, that may sound like insane for 99% of people. So where do you start? You start by not spending. Start by not being a consumer, but being a producer. So most people are consumers. That's why they're always in the rat race. If you're producing, you're always being able to generate income, but you don't want to be producing just with your time. You want to be producing with systems. Now you have AI, you have automation, now you have software. Dude, you can literally be making money while you sleep. And if you think that's not real, look at all the digital companies that are running. They're making money while the owners are sleeping.
That is fact. This whole stream was AI generated. Like, that's not even really me talking. Like, this is literally AI mapped everything out for me. But like, no, he's speaking facts. Like, it's getting easier and easier to make money, and it's a shame that the media is not pushing this to the public. But I'm pushing it to the public. Get aware, get educated, get out here and get this bag and get this AI to work for you, because it is out here. But the more money you make, we've been talking about a lot of billionaires lately. I just wanted to drop this joke because this man had a story about the billionaires, bro. It's not safe around there either. These billionaires, these millionaires. This story is wild.
I have a friend that's really close
with somebody that's extremely successful, like probably a billionaire. And she's like, I want you to meet him. Yeah. Like, I told him about you. He wants to meet you, vice versa. I want you to meet him. So I'm like, all right, bet, cool. But she was like, before you meet him, I just want to give you a heads up just on like what kind of person he is. She was like, so he does this thing where he does background checks on anyone that get kind of like close to him. Like, he get a private investigator to investigate anybody that's coming around him to get like, find out what their secrets is, what their dirt is. Yeah. And she's like, not only that, like he'll probably try to get you drunk or something. He likes to drink. He'll probably try to get you to drunk to like get some dirt on you. Yeah. And I'm like, what? I'm like, why? She was like, just for leverage, just for later, like potentially later on. She was like, this is what he does. Yeah. She was like, and not only that, she was like, every year he gives his lawyer $1 million at the top of the year to like file like BS lawsuits on his competitors. And when she told me all this stuff, I'm like, I'm good. I don't need, no knock to do. But I don't even want to be around somebody that's kind of trying to like start stuff. Do weird little shit like that. I'm cool on it. And this dude is extremely successful. So in my mind, I'm like, if he's doing it at that level, I can only imagine like his competitors or people that's similar at that level probably do similar things to that. So when you talk about warfare, that's just a small example on how I don't even want to say messy, on how strategic shit can get within business. Right.
So yeah, protect your mind, protect your spirit, your perception, keep it guarded, stay educated, stay aware. That's the end of the show, people. I'm gonna let y'all get on with y'all day. Shout out Adrian Bonner. Yeah, I'll be back with another episode. You feel me? This has been episode 2. People's Media. Stay safe, protect your mind. I'm out.